Many blessings, yeah, many blessings, many blessings from the man above, you know. It's many blessings, yeah, many blessings, many blessings.
What's up, everybody? Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. As y'all know, it's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share our content, get it out there to the world. Each one teach one, and we appreciate your guys' support. Now, today we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by somebody that I'm very excited to see what's going to be happening with him. He's an emerging artist, new artist named Geechy. So thank you for coming through, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So my friend Amir Rahimi put me onto you and your music. He and I do the Great Debaters show here on Unique Access, and Amir doesn't often send me stuff that I'm not familiar with or new artists. So I was like, oh man, this Geechy guy must be pretty good. So when I listened to
No, that's my guy, man. You know, we kicked it a lot, you know, so I definitely sent him the project and was like, listen, man, you know, he's a rap connoisseur, you know, hip hop for sure. So, you know, I wanted him to hear it and give me his, you know, take on it. And he really liked it. So, you know, that was dope.
Yeah, so If I Was Born Then is available now on all the streaming platforms. People can check it out. I definitely enjoyed it, which is why I was excited to talk to you, Geechy.
And thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I think people will really enjoy it. So please check out If I Was Born Then on all streaming platforms. We're going to get to that in a minute, but to set the table for people that might not be familiar with you, let's get a little bit about your history and stuff. So I understand that you were raised in the Bronx?
Yeah.
Okay. So what? North side?
Yep.
North side? So what's it like growing up in the Bronx? Because we always hear about the old school hip hop, and that's where hip hop started and these type of things. But for you, what was your experience like growing up in the Bronx?
The Bronx is definitely like the birth of my love for hip hop music. You know, I mean, the culture in general. It's an interesting place. You know, I mean, it's like the home of Big Pun, and like I said, hip hop started there at Sedgwick. So for me, growing up there, I had a brother who was really big into hip hop. Like, I mean, crazy, collect mixtapes, the Dipset mixtapes, all the G-Unit stuff. And he really introduced me to that, you know, to rapping in general. And I think just being from the Bronx was, it was a blessing. I think if I was born anywhere else, I don't think I would have found the love for it. You know, that place really was the start of it for me.
So what was it about Big Pun and Dipset in particular that you gravitated towards?
I mean, I would say I watched them at first and was entertained by those artists at first. But the first person who really got me started rapping was two people, was Through the Wire when I first heard it. That's when I started toying around with it. But then when I heard Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor, that's when I really started rapping. That's when I was like, yo, I could rap like this, you know. And it's continue.
Yeah, Lupe is very respected, but he's also somebody I think doesn't often get mentioned as an influence or these type of things.
I mean,
so for you, since there's so many artists, what was it about Lupe in particular that you gravitated toward?
During this time period, hip hop, and the same thing with Kanye West, it was, gangster rap was the thing at this time. You know, someone like Lupe and another artist like Kanye really broke the mold for you not to be in that lifestyle, but to still be credited as a legit hip hop artist. So, the whole style of Lupe Fiasco, it was mostly the lyricism of him that got me so connected, you know, just hearing him, all these double entendres and metaphors, and me just trying to like piece the puzzle together. It's like, how is this guy thinking like this and putting this all together and keeping it rhythmic? And that was definitely the beginning for me. Once I heard that, I was like, I gotta start rapping. It was hard though.
And then what type of stuff were you writing about once you first started?
Now, that's an interesting thing because and I think I've thought about that question recently. It came to me when you're young. When I started rapping, I was 9 years old when I first like recorded a song. Like I have a project that I recorded with like 15 songs when I was 9. So when you're that age, you're either mimicking what you're hearing and trying to do this in your own way, and it's complete imagination because you're not drawing off any experience. It's just it's really taking a blank canvas and creating something, versus now it's a lot easier for me to rap because I would say I've been rapping for over like 13 years. Like, man, the craft is mastered to me already. So um now I just go through experience in life and I just draw the correlation between the experience and boom, there's a song. It's easy.
So since you started when you were 9, now you're obviously a few years older than that. But
Yeah.
at what point and why did you go from having it be a hobby to like, yo, I'm really going to try to do this for real?
Um I think because I realized how good I was at it. At my school, nobody rapped at all. I was the only kid that rapped. So everyone was very amazed by me. Even like the teachers knew that I could rap. And it was and I was watching people like Kanye and Lupe and Jay-Z and all these guys emerge. I'm like, I want to be just like that. And I have the talent. So let me just pursue it. And I mean, that was really that. And I had a lot of people behind me, a lot of people telling me like, yo, you're going to be the next thing, when you're like, in my head, man, I was supposed to be a superstar already, when you're like 15 or, you're thinking, man, all I need is a record deal and I'm out of here. And you don't understand the business of it. You don't understand the marketing, the branding, a lot of things that go into making an artist pop. And so, I wouldn't even say right now, if I blew up next week, some people would say, oh, man, this dude must be like some overnight success. But man, this is like, over a decade in the making. So,
Yeah, people tend to look at the result and not the process.
it's very true. Yeah, the iceberg.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So then how, when, and why did you move to the Los Angeles area?
I was coming out to LA a lot, like during like 2016, 15, meeting a lot of people, working with producers. I worked with some, people out of like good music and stuff like that. And I was one of the main guys I was working with was pretty high up there in the engineer world and in the music world. Told me, said, man, if you really want to take this serious, you got to come out here. So at that age, fast forward, me being 21 and somebody telling me that, I literally got back on the plane, went to New York and told my mom, like, I'm out. Like this, I got to go to LA. Like if I want to make this happen, and that was it. And I came here and it's been a journey, like for real up and down battle. A lot of times I thought like, man, I'm over this. Because during that time period from when I moved out here, I mean, the trajectory of hip hop music changed like crazy. And I almost was watching it from the outside, like, yo, this isn't what I was into like 2 years ago. Like, I'm not even vibing with this. So, do I want to be a part of this still? And then it was this battle that I was having with myself. But I really sat down, and it's hard when you're passionate about something and you truly love something. Your heart never leads you down the wrong path. You can never run away from it. You can't. I couldn't. So, that's why I'm here now. And if I was born then, it's out. And it was a long time coming for it to happen.
So as far as if I was born then, what's the significance of the title?
Um, I wanted, I was hearing a lot of the industry music that was coming out. And, I don't look at myself as a rapper. I look at myself as an artist. So I can make that kind of, if I really sat down with that kind of beat and that kind of producer and really wrap my mind around it, I could. But what I fell in love with was Illmatic. What I fell in love with was The Evils off Reasonable Doubt. So I said, man, like, let me not try to do anything modern. right now. Let me put a modern take on it, but let me drop a project as if like I was born in the early 90s, this time period, Big and Wu-Tang and all that stuff. So I wanted to have that real New York sound. Everyone talks about this New York sound. I don't know what that is, but for the people that do hear it, they're like, man, it's real New York. And I'm just like, I, I don't know if that's a compliment but that was the significance behind it. I wanted to make a project that felt like it really wasn't from this time period, but it could still resonate.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think you've achieved that. So congratulations on
Oh,
that.
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So sonically, how did you get with Saeed Sounds, and what's your relationship with him?
Okay, so my business partner, Rob, when I first got out here, me and Rob were plotting on doing music, but there were just certain pieces that weren't connecting yet, because we needed to find a producer and a studio and how we were going to go about this. But he always kept telling me about, Side. And I was like, all right, man, I wasn't in music mode. I wasn't, because I was on the cusp of giving up. I was doing other things. Like my mind wasn't even wrapped in music. And I finally met him and he played me beats, and off grip, I was like, he's talented. He's very talented. But my mind wasn't making music. So it didn't matter how talented he was at the time, because you could play me the hottest beat in the world. I didn't care for it at all. So, Saad was selling me beats religiously. And I was not responding. He was sending me emails, texts, not responding. I'd be, oh, that's dope, man. And then one day he sent me one beat. It's a record. It'll come out one day. But the track is called Gaza. And he sent me that beat like, I don't know, maybe 11 o'clock at night. And I listened to the first 10 seconds of the beat and I stopped it because I knew it was special. But I didn't want to play the whole thing because I was in the music mode. So I'm like, wow, I'm just going to listen to another hot beat and then put my phone down. And then I didn't even listen to it. And then he texts me and he was like, oh, the beat must be whack then. And I was like, oh, man, let me listen to it. And I listened to it from top to bottom from that day since. I haven't stopped writing music.
Wow.
That's it. Like, he really, if it wasn't for Rob connecting me to him, truly don't think me and you would be talking right now.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, I do think the production on this, If I Was Born There, is excellent. So as we go,
yeah, I mean, he's a genius.
Yeah,
really
as we go through the EP, there's definitely some questions I have. But on Many Blessings is a song, and you have a video out for that as well.
Yes.
And I was intrigued tying into the If I Was Born Then. Is that why at the beginning of Many Blessings you keep saying 96 and forever?
Forever, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was like I wanted to have these little like nuances throughout the project that would give the people who really cared about it and who really wanted to figure out what I was trying to talk about. That I think Jay says 90 around 96 and forever. Yeah, he says that in the beginning of Feeling It of Reasonable Doubt. So and that's one of my favorite Jay songs. So I just felt like it was the perfect thing to say at the beginning of that record.
Gotcha. And then I also really enjoyed the fact that, like you were saying, you're doing your own thing because of a lot of the delivery, especially on Many Blessings, is very laid back and your voice is raspy and these different things that are, unusual to a lot of the stuff that's, super popular right now. So, So for you, given that that's the reality, what makes you comfortable to just stay in your own lane and do it your way?
Because at some point, you got to get rich in your niche. That's my thing I believe in. You got to get rich in your own lane, and who vibes with you will naturally gravitate to you. See, the problem is, I like Lil Uzi Vert. I think he's cool. I think Roddy Ricch is cool. I think Baby's cool. And our music on two different sides of the spectrum. Now, like I said earlier, I could go and make music like that if I wanted to. But the problem is, if I blow up off making music like that, and that's not truly who I am, That's the hard. Now that's the real problem. When you become famous doing something you're not really fond of doing, that means every day I would have to keep making music like this to keep a fan base. And I'm telling you, man, when the lights is off and the partying is done and everyone's gone home, you got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to feel happy with what you're doing with your life. And it's very hard to go from making that kind of music to then jumping into what I'm doing right now. It would give the fans that you have a complete like, oh, hell no. Like, no, this is not what we came here for, you know? So thanks to the resurgence of like Griselda, people like Boldy James, Rock Marciano, Freddie, Currency, Larry June, there's a world for the music. I know that. You know, no one could ever look me in the eye. And a couple A&Rs I've already given the music to telling me that, oh, you know, this is not really the thing right now. I'm like, it's all right. It's just not for you. You know, it's not for everyone. So I know that there's a universe the music can live in and that there's people that will naturally come to it over time.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
What's that 5 on Yo MTV Back with NWA?
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.